I want to get into a specific story involving the importance of genetic testing, and you mentioned P53 in particular. A mutated gene changed our next guest's lives forever. Take a look.
When I was little, I knew I always wanted to be a mom, and that's how it happened. First Casey, and then Tanner. You watch your kids grow and all you want is for them to live a happy and healthy life. Sometimes they fall, but they always manage to get back up. Though nothing can prepare you for when you can't make things better. For me, it was a day in September 2012 when everything changed in an instant. Tanner was 10 years old when he was diagnosed with a glioblastoma. You hope and pray and think, my kid is going to be the one to beat the odds. But he isn't, and he doesn't. Tanner died 8 months and 8 days later. When Tanner was sick, we found out he carried a hereditary cancer gene, the mutant P53. But it doesn't end there. We discover Casey has the same gene and an over 90% chance of getting cancer. I lost one child. I will not lose another. There is no playbook of what my next moves are. I'm in waters I don't know how to navigate, one step in front of the other, and so the next chapter of my life begins.
Casey and her mother, Marlo, join us, and thank you both for sharing your story.
Casey, tell us about the decision, and Marlo, please chime in, to have genetic testing and how that's impacted you since age 14.
So my parents took my brother to a genetic counselor, and the first question they asked was, what is your family history? And I only have one cancer in my family besides my brother, which was my dad's mom died early from breast cancer. And so after they found that out, they decided to test my brother for the mutated P53 gene, and they found out that he has it. And they also tested my mom and my dad also has it. My mom is not a carrier. And then after that, they decided to go along and test me for preventative measures, and I found out that I have an over 90% chance of getting cancer.
Can you weigh in on when you know you carry a mutation, how you might take those precautions to prevent the progression?
In this case, surveillance is very, very important because there's no pill to take to prevent this. There have been studies in certain cancers like familial polyposis where maybe non-steroidal drugs, certain non-steroidal drugs might help to prevent things, but in this situation, there's not really a preventative. So the solution rests on constant surveillance. Any symptom that's persistent needs to be addressed, and regular screenings like you're doing. And we were talking earlier about the fact that, there's a bit of a, in addition to the burden of having the disease, there's also kind of like a regular PTSD that happens from it, right? Because every time, well, you said every time you were going to the doctor, for example, with a little something, it turns kind of into a big deal because everyone has to pay attention. Tell us about that.
Exactly. I think what's really hard is that I do go to these doctor's appointments, and I do try my best to be healthy, obviously. And, if I get like a little birthmark or something, if I go to the dermatologist, I have to get that biopsied. So, it's anything so minor where I kind of freak out a little bit, but thankfully it hasn't been anything too serious. So, but that definitely is kind of the emotional toll and a PTSD in a way where I am going to these doctor's appointments, and the littlest thing, because of my high risk, I have to get it checked no matter what.